Thanks for your support as a channel member, Jack Edinburgh. Here we go then, folks. 2 seasons into the Bourne Legacy, and we have 2 promotions under our belt. We've made it into Tier 8. I don't know, as of right now, what league we're actually going to be in for this upcoming season, but I do know this is going to be a season review and transfer special, and hopefully an epic one, because we have a transfer budget for the first time. If the idea of that excites you, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on the video. If we could get to 2,000 likes for a transfer special, that seems reasonable to me. It's probably a long video. Hello and welcome to part 15 of the Bourne Legacy. I'm Kevin. Coming up on today's video, we have that season review and transfer special, and that is exactly where we are kicking things off with the end of season awards. It's only the 4th of April. It is mad how early the season ends at this level. We've now got to go 4 or 5 months without any football, which is it's very upsetting for the people of Bourne. But this is the overall best 11, and as you can see, lots of familiar faces, as you would imagine. We've got Winterton in goal in this team, who is now playing for Westfield in the Hellenic Premier Division, which is equivalent to the level we're at. In actual fact, we're going to be above his level next year. It might be worth having another little look at him. We might re-scout him. At age 32, it might be that we've sort of moved beyond him, but I do remember these wonderful days of 18 clean sheets in 30 appearances, only 18 goals conceded. He was on another level as far as goalkeepers were concerned. Unbelievably, Furtado has made it into the all-time best 11, despite only starting 13 games for us before getting released. Bearing in mind, Mata could have been in the team in that left-back role and isn't in the squad anywhere. Oh, no, he is. He's there on the left wing. But there must have been better left-backs. It shows how much turnover there's been in left-back. Ellis at centre-back, obviously still with us. Boardman, the other centre-back, who's now playing for Lindy. I can't believe at age 40, not only is he still going, but he's under offer from a number of clubs. Loughborough Uni, I think he's a little bit old to be going to Loughborough Uni. I mean, I was a mature student myself. I was 27 when I started uni. But 40, John Boardman, goodness me. Pearson as the right back in that team as well, obviously still with us as well. A midfield of Benson, who is still with us, albeit under offer from a number of clubs at a higher level than us and probably on his way out of the club. And to be fair, it's another one. He's only started 19 games during his time with us. Never been a nailed-on starter alongside Shuka, who obviously was a nailed-on starter and is now with us as a coach at the club. Mata on the left wing, Simmons on the right wing, the other 2 players who were on the favoured personnel list, as we saw in the last episode. And then up front, we have James Morris, who's now at Romford, earning £475 a week, where he wasn't exactly scoring a huge amount of goals. And he's another one, might be worth scouting to see if we can maybe get him on loan next season. And then, of course, Connor Carty, who is finally starting to play a little bit of football for Cork City, earning loads of money there. £1,500 a week. We've already tried to bring him back on loan once. They accepted the offer. He wasn't having any of it, but it is worth bearing in mind his contract with Cork is up at Christmas. So we definitely need to be keeping an eye on Connor Carty, because if he gets released by them, you can be sure we'll be trying to bring him back again. The bench is filled by Wuziewicz, Francis, Rose, Byrne, Day, Parr and O'Rourke, making it into the all-time best 11 bench. I mean, to be fair, it's not a bad season. Marcus Day is probably... Oh, no, he is there as well. That's all right then. So the end of season awards for this year, Marcus Day getting player of the season, which I think seems absolutely spot on as far as I'm concerned. 20 goals from 30 starts, a 7.36. That does seem absolutely spot on for player of the year. James Clark getting runner-up. Again, can't really argue with that. What I would argue with is why James Clark isn't in the all-time best 11, because he's had a cracking season for us, both right-wing and right-back, and Benson in there with 8% of the votes. Again, never a regular starter, but did do enough to get him the team of the season. Mark Ellis got goal of the year against Ainsbury, so let's have a little look at this one. I mean, I thought all of his goals were penalties or headers, so I am intrigued as to what he did here. Oh, he took a free kick as well. There we go. Mr. Set Piece Man. Marcus Day, signing of the season on a free transfer and Young Player of the Year. And our team of the season is Wuziewicz in goal. A back four, Furtado, Taylor, Ellis and Pearson. Rose and Benson in midfield. Tier and Clark as the wingers. Tier getting in the team of the year. is a little bit of a surprise, I think. And then O'Rourke and Day up front for the team of the year. So no space for Connor Carty in the team of the year. And it's not just because he's left, before everyone tells me that, because Furtado no longer with us. Wuziewicz no longer with us. So there are players who've moved on and still made it into the team of the year. Clearly, Day and O'Rourke doing enough to be considered better than Carty. Top goal scorer Day with 28 goals, although Carty did get more in all competitions in total. Also highest average rating for Day. Clark with 11 assists. Day with also best pass completion and most man of the match awards. Marcus Day has had a lovely season. Worryingly, again, he's got loads of Conference North and South teams after him, so probably going to be leaving over the summer. Such is life at this level. We can't keep hold of him, which is a real shame. And Clark, with 9 yellow cards and 1 red card, is basically captain of the Naughty Boys Club. Season review, we won everything. Well, we won those two. We won the 2 things we could have won. And of course, the FA Cup run against Lincoln, getting through to the second round of the FA Cup, will live long in the memory. Club vision-wise, I do need to negotiate some of this. I have just signed a new contract based on this vision. It's weird the way around they do it. I signed the contract agreeing to this, and now I get to negotiate this stuff. I suspect they're going to say, no, you're not negotiating it, you just signed another contract. But I do want to negotiate it, because I don't want to play counter-attacking football, and I don't want to do defensively solid football. I just want to play my own football. That aside, they want me to work within a wage budget. They want me to win promotion this coming year again. So we're expected to win a 3rd promotion in a row. And then, no, is that? So yeah, can't speak. By the end of next season, they expect me to win promotion. And then attempt to remain in the division. So they think that's our level. Northern/Southern/Isthmian League Premier Division is expected to be our level. So that's interesting. Oh, is that telling us we're going to be in the Isthmian South Central Division? So they want us to win that. Okay, that's interesting. Are they going to let me take those things out? No. Well, can we at least take counter-attacking out? But I don't want to counter-attack. There we go. They didn't sneak anything else in, did they? No. Excellent stuff. So we'll finish that off. Squad dynamics-wise, no team leaders, as you would expect with the turnover of player that we've got. Mark Ellis is our most influential player, and I think our captain. Yeah, captain as well. That's why he's so influential, probably. And that was interesting. O'Rourke, best player at the club now. He's done a Mick Powell, everybody. Excellent work, Fidel O'Rourke. End of season team meeting. We're going to passionately say that we want to go up promoted as champions again. They're all on board with that. Injury-wise, we're not going to get too bogged down in. End of season break. Again, it's fine. I mean, they've got months off now. They'll forget what each other look like in all the time they've got off. But the big exciting thing for the summer is how much money we've got to play with. Obviously, we've got a transfer budget, but we're not going to use it because we can't offer proper contracts. So we're not going to pay a transfer fee for somebody only to bring them in on a non-contract. So this can all straight away go into wage budget, which gives us $4,500 a week to play with. We've done $2,000 a week this year, so we can pay double the wages this coming year to what we've paid the year before. Scouting budget wise, I might even put that transfer budget into scouting budget. Good old Grillo. If you ever forget that he's a director of football, he's a director of football. So how do we get into scouting budget? So it would be, we can't, even if we put all that transfer budget into scouting budget, we still can't afford. In fact, have they given us less scouting budget than I had before? Oh no, scouting budget is $10,000. And how much have I got? No, learn the buttons, Kev. Scouting budget was $10,000. So to do that one is $10,000. I think when our promotion officially goes through, it upgrades. So we will actually be able to scout the league that we're in. Otherwise, that's ridiculous. So we'll just leave that as it is. Still can't scout youth players. And the $12,000 we've got transfer budget isn't enough to be able to scout any youth players anyway. So there's no point fiddling with that. I mean, the thing from here, similar to last summer, is see what kind of damage is done over the next almost 3 months with players leaving the club. If anyone good shows up on scout reports, get them in on trial. You obviously have the danger of if we sign someone good too early, they leave early. It's like what we had with Connor Carty, because I'm pretty sure the 6-month rule is a thing. In fact, let's have a look. When did we sign Carty? Oh no, we got him in August. Well, I'm just talking nonsense. We will. We'll just see what happens until we get to 1st of July, and we can try and steal some Premier League youngsters. Now, take this next bit with a pinch of salt, because obviously we are operating with some pretty terrible scouts. But we've had a scout report back on Connor Carty, who is apparently, according to Adam Harrison Page, and is 6 for judging player ability. Carty is nowhere near. He's a little bit better than Marcus Day, which I remember him being a little bit better than Marcus Day, but apparently nowhere near as good as Paul Mullin, and really nowhere near as good as Fidel O'Rourke, who looks like he's had a... I told you he'd done a Mick Powell, currently operating at League 2 level. There is not a chance that man is still at the club at the start of the season. Is there no way to offer him a proper contract? I just want to give him a real contract. But you can't. How do I get... This is very, very upsetting. I don't necessarily want to offer him all this extra money either. Although, to be fair, he probably does deserve it. So let's... He's a League 2 player, for goodness sake. He's worth... I mean, that's going to cost our wage budget £450 a week, which is a huge investment. But if he genuinely is League 2 quality, that's Connor Carty. If he genuinely is League 2 quality, he's obviously worth it. The other thing I wanted to show you is we got the scout report on Winterton as well. There he is, who apparently, this shows how much we've moved on since we lost him. Winterton wouldn't even get on our bench at the moment, which is mad. We've made one signing so far, which is this guy, Ben Barkley, 24-year-old centre-back, who is currently a good player for National League sides. It's mad the kind of players we can sign. As good as Platt to play at centre-back for us. He was playing in League 1 for Accrington earlier this season, having played a full year on loan in the National League for Fylde the year before. I feel like we're signing him too early because he'll leave sooner, but I mean, I think that's a cracking signing to start us off, and if we can keep O'Rourke, that would be even better. If we just have a little look, let's just sort these by ability. So O'Rourke, best player at the club by miles. How has that even happened? Development, progress. That's how it's happened, boys and girls. My word, his attributes haven't changed massively in that time, but somehow his ability has. How does that even work? So he was a 3-star player back in February, and he's now a 4.5-star player. Nice. Okay, we now have confirmation of the league we're playing in next year, which is the Bet Victor Isthmian South Central Division, which the board are expecting me to win and get promoted. And they're also looking for the first round of the FA Cup again. They've got a taste for that. FA Trophy, I think, is this the first time we played in that? We were in the FA Vars before, so now we're in the FA Trophy. But of course, the one everybody wants is the Alan Turvey Cup, because what a name. So we're absolutely target. The board want another double. But these are the teams we're going to be coming up against in the Isthmian South Central Division. So it looks like we've kind of moved down the country a little bit. We were hovering around sort of Lincolnshire and East Midlands teams before, like Leicester, Northampton, up into Lincolnshire. Whereas now these are all, it's like Bedfordshire, Hertfordshire and Rugby and Redditch. So I guess geographical area increases a little bit as we go. But there's no one in there who immediately springs out as they're going to be our big rivals. FC Romania? What? Where's Romania? They've got a Romanian hot prospect as well. Where's FC Romania based? Do we get a city name? Let me know down in the comments. Where's FC Romania based? And what's the story there? I need the story. We have lost a few players. It's the 25th of June. As you can see, there are a lot of our players who are under offer for other clubs. The squad is being decimated. O'Rourke is off to League 1 probably. But we've already lost. Josh Barnes has gone to Boston in the National Leagues. Let's see what contracts these players are on. So he's earning £575 a week at Boston. Ben Jackson's gone to Dagenham and Redbridge, 1.2k a week to play in the National League. Danny Rose has gone to Stockport, £875 a week to go to the National League North. Callum Maycock's gone to Telford, £525 a week to play in the National League North. And Matthew Platt has gone to York, nearly £2,000 a week to play in the National League. And there's going to be more going yet. This is going to be a tough season because I think we've hit a point where the players that we'd want to bring in, we can't quite afford. We've had 4 or 5 players on trial over the summer who would actually improve our squad, but all the ones that would actually improve the squad want £1,500 a match. The most we can offer is £500 a match. There you go. O'Rourke has gone to Stevenage, 1.1 grand a week. League 2 O'Rourke's going to be playing in next year. One thing, I guess, is with O'Rourke leaving, all the star ratings are going to have adjusted because he was so much better than everybody else. So it gives us a bit of an idea of where we stand again in this league. Ben Barkley, I think, now becomes our best player. The guy... Oh, no, Archie Davis, who is also under offer and he's probably going to be leaving. Oh, the squad is being decimated. We didn't have this last summer. We need to bring in a lot of players, which I guess I was going to do anyway. We've lost another one of our players, Archie Davis, best player again, has gone to Harrogate, 1.1k a week to play in the National League. And as you can see, there's still plenty more going to be leaving as well. It's like I say, it's going to be a busy summer, but I don't think I need to panic as much as I was because I just had a look at the season preview. And even with all those players leaving, we still have 10 of the 11 players in the Media Dream 11. We are favourites, odds-on favourites to go up as champions. As you can see, Fryer, Hart, Barkley, Ellis, Clark, Holmes, Dans, Tare, Day and Mullin all in the Media Dream 11. Barkley and Fryer considered the best players in the team and presumably the best players in the division on that basis. Fryer now considered our key player. And I guess we need to have a look at Gary Wilkinson. In fact, he's a youth player. Oh, that means we can't rob him, doesn't it? But we absolutely want to. Can we just offer him a contract? Is it going to cost us money to do that? I don't really know how this is going to work, but if he's 18 years old and already good enough to be in that Dream 11... Oh, no, we would have to pay compensation. There's no point paying compensation for a player that's going to be on a non-contract and we could lose for nothing and would lose for nothing, as we've seen with all our other star players. So he's just going to have to stay there and we'll just look at him from afar. There's a couple of our players who are absolute heroes and are turning down these offers to leave, which is awesome. Probably just waiting for better offers. They're not happy with my management. They feel the squad is lacking depth. Give me a chance, lads. My word. Assertively, I'm getting into the transfer market. Don't worry, you idiots. It's not the 1st of July yet. It's like they've not watched the rest of the video so far. Well, we have made it through to the 1st of July, and this is what's left of the squad. So if we have a look at the squad depth, this guy, we're trying to bring him in. He's here on trial previously off Tottenham, natural pressing forward. I love these ranges that we get because he's not been here long enough. Somewhere between a 1 and an 8 for composure. Well, I mean, it's quite important which end of that scale he's at, but he's better than Marcus Day, apparently, which makes him all right as far as I'm concerned. So we're trying to bring him in. I guess we probably need at least one more striker. Vukoji is probably going to be leaving. Day is probably going to be leaving. The more I see these younger players move on, the more likely I am to go for the likes of Ricky Holmes, who are a little bit older, but just not attracting any interest because of it. So they're probably a little bit easier to build a team around. So Neil Duns, who wasn't getting in our team last year, we signed him. He played 1 substitute appearance. He's now considered our best central midfielder because everyone else has left. So there's quite a lot to do. As usual, we'll firstly hit up... I thought that was Morris, the former striker that we had there, but no. We're going to bring in as many trials as we can off of our existing scouted players. So anyone on here who is currently out of contract and has had any kind of decent scout recommendation in the past, which isn't a lot of them, like these few. I mean, Chris Gunter is another example of someone we tried to bring. We actually had him in on trial this summer, but he wanted £1.5 per appearance, and now he's going to Yeovil, so that's why he didn't need to come to us. But that would have been an insane signing, nearly 100 international caps. But in fact, all of these, I think, are players I've had on loan, on trial at various points this summer. But we'll try again. And then, lastly, the good old faithful trick: get Guillem on the phone, and we'll just have all the free transfers you've got at every position, please, and get as many of these in on trial as we can as well. And then we'll see what we've got. Right, many trialists in. Let's have a look at the team report to get an idea of what we've got. And my word, look at all these players. It's just going to be a case of whether or not we can afford them. Is that Danny Rowe, as in... Did he used to play for Posh? No, he didn't. Must have been a different one. But, I mean, we'll start with him because he looks awesome. So let's see if he's going to be anywhere near our kind of wage budgets. See, this is the problem we're going to have. We're not going to get him down, are we? No. See how many of these I can actually agree terms with. Much transfer business later. I'm not going to go through all of these because there's so many. We'll get to know them as we get to see them in the team. I'll show you the best ones in a minute. But we have had a few more players leave. Ellis has gone. Marcus Day. They've both gone to South Shields. So Ellis earning 1.4k. Day 1.3k. South Shields in the National League North. We've also released a couple of players who got a grumpy on. Mullin and Pearson both got released because they got a grumpy on with new signings. Elliott for solo. This one's mad. I signed him. He then signed someone else and he got a grumpy on, so I just released him immediately. Haven't got the time to be messing around with people who are in a moody, but there's lots of new players that have come in. If we pick out the best ones, Luke Plange is our new star striker, 18 years old, 3.5-star current ability. He's come in from Arsenal. We've also got Jack Leahy, who's our new right winger, 18 years old, coming from Brighton. The last Irish under-20 international we got seemed to turn out okay, so hopefully he'll be just as good. Central midfield, and we've got Matthew Smith, who's 20 years old, 4.5-star current ability. He also comes in from Arsenal, along with Ben Davis, who's a 20-year-old current Thai international, who comes in from Fulham. And then at the back, we already know about Ben Barkley. We've also got Brandon Thomas, who's 18 years old. He comes in from West Ham. At left back, Sam Hart's still our best left back. We did sign some. Not as good as Sam Hart, though. Our new right back, Marlon Fossey, 22-year-old American. Another one who's coming from Fulham. And Fryer, still our best goalkeeper. So if we then jump back over to the season preview. The last time I looked, we had all 11 of them. This guy has ruined my day. Nathan Green, your monster. But as you can see, we have lots of players in this best in fact, we'll show you the ones that we've got who I haven't already introduced you to. So Rafael Garcia can play left wing and up front. Portuguese under-19 international. He comes in from Everton. Another one who's been at Fulham previously as well. Lee, I've already shown you. And the only other one I hadn't shown you is Daniel Oyegoki, Nigerian under-20 international, who is yet another one who's come in from Arsenal. So it's the 13th of July. Money-wise, we're just about spent up. I have put a cheeky offer in for Connor Carty on loan until the end of the season. Does that mean he signed a new contract with them? No. So how's he going to join us until the end of the season? That's going to be a weird one. I might break the game by bringing him in. I think it's very unlikely we get him. If we do get him, obviously I'll be absolutely delighted and hope the game doesn't break. But unless we start losing players again now, I think the squad is just about ready for the new season. We're only a couple of weeks away, so I think we are about done. But it's just going to be interesting to see if we manage to get Carty, which is now the big exciting thing that we're all looking forward to. Boo! This boy doesn't know what side his bread is buttered. He's nothing there, nothing. He'd come back as a hero and still get paid all his salary. We'll continue to keep an eye on him and try and bring him back at Christmas when his contract expires. Last little bit of transfer business to finish us off then. James Clark has also left the club. He's gone to play for Brackley on £500 a week, playing in the National League North. And we brought in one more player, Jamal Hector Ingram, just because you can never have too many strikers. And it looks like he's a pretty decent one as well. Just leading player for most National League sides. I love the fact that we've got so many very good players at this team. We'll just have one last look at the season preview as well. Still odds-on favourites for the league. Still only 10 of the 11 best players in the division because of this guy ruining my day. But I think that counts as a successful summer. We've lost a lot of our heroes, but we've brought in some new heroes. Just, it's what life in the lower leagues is like. Yes, Team Cohesion is a mess, but fingers crossed our players will be so good that it won't necessarily matter immediately. And a big handshake, pat on the head. Yes, you're awesome, to Max Taylor, who I don't mention very often, but he has played for us all last season, having joined from Manchester United. He's turned down multiple offers over the summer. He's still here. We have some, I mean, surely he's got to be closing in on all-time appearance record for us, because I don't know that we've had, I guess Mata is the only one who's got anywhere near playing. In fact, there are actual real players. Craig Rook. I can't even read that. White on yellow. Brilliant. So it's a long way. He's got a long way to go to beat that, actually. Here's me thinking it was like it was at home. He'd be the record appearance holder if it was still like how things were at home. But I like the fact he stuck around. And this is going to be our team for the first day of the new season, which we'll see in tomorrow's video. The most exciting thing, 7 substitutes at this level. They're spoiling us. But we will be back tomorrow with the first 2 games of the new season. So get your predictions down in the comments below where you think we're going to finish. We should be top, or I'm probably going to get fired. But if you have enjoyed that video, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos. And thank you very much for watching.